If you think you had all the dirt on big money Mitt Romney, you got another thing coming. From the New York Times, Mitt Romney's Bain Capital tied to surveillance push in China. Now, as the Chinese government pushes forward their multi-billion-dollar effort to blanket the entire country with surveillance cameras, just like the U.S. has done, one American company stands to profit, and that's Bain Capital, the private equity firm founded by Mitt Romney. In August, Romney reported that he and his wife earned a minimum of $5.6 million from the company. In December, a Bain Capital-run fund in which a Romney family blind trust has holdings purchased the video surveillance division of a Chinese company that claims to be the largest supplier to the government's Safe Cities program, a highly advanced monitoring system that allows the authorities to watch over university campuses, mosques, hospitals, and theaters from a centralized command post. The financial disclosure forms Mr. Romney filed last August show that a blind trust in the name of his wife, Ann Romney, held a relatively small stake between $100,000 and $250,000 in the Bain Capital Asia Fund that purchased Uniview. It's funny to watch the ties, the money trail, so many different companies buying other companies and using them as fronts. The Bain-owned surveillance company produces what it calls infrared anti-riot cameras and software that enables police, that would be the Chinese secret police, in different jurisdictions to share real-time images through the internet. Now, previous projects have included an emergency command center in Tibet that, quote, provides a solid foundation for the maintenance of social stability. They mean social control. And the protection of people's peaceful life. I mean, the protection of the CCP. Human rights activists say that in China, these cameras are also used to intimidate and monitor political and religious dissidents, like the Falun Gong, and people seeking to exit the CCP's party. Now, a Tibetan Buddhist monk in Gansu province said, quote, there are video cameras all over the place, all over our monastery, and their only purpose is to make us live in fear. Now, he said that the cameras have helped the authorities identify and detain nearly 200 monks who participated in a protest at his monastery in 2008. The manufacturer has no control over whether they are used for other purposes or for locking people up. Bain employees and executives are also among the largest donors to the Mitt Romney campaign, and their contributions have accounted for as much as 10% of the money received. He also gets money from the same people that backed Barack Obama. Bain's decision to enter China's fast-growing surveillance industry raises many questions about the direct role that American corporations play in setting up tyrannical governments so they can more easily control their own people with technology. And, you know, it's interesting because China also makes the computers that we're using, so there seems to be this pattern of one country controlling the other country in some way, shape, or form, or their people, and the other country controlling the other country's population. Any serious U.S. policy towards China, now I'm reading a quote from Mitt Romney's website just to show what a phony he is. Any serious U.S. policy towards China must confront the fact that China's regime continues to deny its people basic political freedoms and human rights. Well, that's true. But he charged Obama, the Obama administration, of placing economic concerns above human rights in managing relations with China. But he doesn't really seem to show any remorse for his investment in Bain Capital and their part that they play in controlling the Chinese people. So we are seeing even more evidence that Mitt Romney is a fake, Mitt Romney is a globalist, Mitt Romney is collaborating with the Communist Chinese Party. Now, I also want to talk about Texas Governor Rick Perry from the Come and Take It state. Well, we came across some information that last year Mitt Romney, a good friend of Rick Perry, made a deal with the Yahweh Corporation to set up their own telecom company, right outside of Dallas, Texas, in the suburb of Plano. Now, this company is suspected by our own government of being involved in spying, espionage, engaging in cyber attacks against the Department of Defense and also computers here in the United States, privately owned. In recent years, We've also seen a number of other Western companies, corporations like Honeywell, General Electric, which owns NBC, by the way, IBM, and United Technologies. They've all been criticized for selling sophisticated surveillance-related technology to the Chinese government. And I've been talking about this for years now, how the West has helped set up China's big brother superstate with the help of our very own advanced computer technologies. And so this is something that I want to make sure everyone is aware of. The picture is becoming crystal clear that the modern tools of social control of using one country to control another country is a tactic that is commonly practiced, in fact, in more ways than the average person might know.
Mitt Romney has railed against China's trade practices and its record on human rights. He's promised to take a hard line against the Chinese government, to get tough. But Romney's investments tell another story. He has hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in a Bain Capital fund that owns a company supplying the Chinese government with cameras to monitor its people, intimidating those who speak out. Mitt Romney talks tough on the campaign trail, but he stands to profit from a company supplying China with cameras. Cameras that human rights advocates say allow the government to keep tabs on ordinary citizens.